And we're back. This is the Second Opinion We're Sports Medicine podcast. I'm Dr. Dokel.
I'm Dr. Glass.
Today is a special day. We have a beautiful guest with us, somebody we've known for a long time. Her name's Dr. Maria Salas, and she comes to us live from Northern California. Is that right?
Redding, California. That is more north than you guys.
Any place, yeah. It is the north for sure.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Maria. It's been forever since I've spoken with you and seen your face. And it's been forever since the three of us have linked up. We all went to chiropractic college together in the, early 2000s. And I probably wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for you two. So hats off. Thank you, guys.
We just got some credit.
Yeah.
Total team effort.
Yeah.
Team effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
No man left behind. No man left behind.
No,
That's how
it was a fun little journey. I didn't realize at the time that was like the easy part of things. I was just like, let me finish and get out of here.
Yeah.
And now I would kill for a month with all the homies and the friends. If we could all be back together in class for a month, like what? Wouldn't be fair.
No mortgages, no rents due, all of it.
I mean, it was just a good time just to be learning together, and having adventures. It was fun.
Yes, and I do find that when I find some chiropractic people up here and we like all join at someone's office and adjust each other and we shoot the shit, it is so much fun.
Yeah.
I love.
No, I'm super happy that you were able to make time to hop on so we can catch up. I'd love to hear about your practice and like how you've been spending your time and what the greatest is, and if there's any challenges, things of that sort. I'd love to catch up with you. Dustin, I think you kind of dialed this in for us. You want to break that down for me?
Yeah, me and Maria have been talking a little bit in the last few months, kind of like how me and you do, P. We just kind of get caught up and just talk shop and talk about our practices and what's going on in life. And, in our conversations, a couple of times I found myself like we do, like, hold that thought. Let's get on the pod and let's share the knowledge. So, so then I asked her if she'd want to do that. And me and you, like last year when we were writing down our list of who we thought we would want on, I remember we had Maria on our list and I just thought it was a perfect time with everything going on. So here we are. So yeah, Maria, I thought, me and P practice very similar with our sports practice and, we do the concierge work. We're traveling all over the place and, we share those stories all the time, but, I'd like, we do have students on here and we do have just, the general public. And I would just like to kind of, share with everybody kind of your journey after chiropractic college and, what led to your type of practice right now, because you do practice differently than us, even though we do see the same type of people as far as people with spines and people with pulses, right? But how they got into our office is a little different. So kind of like to freestyle on that, and then maybe we can talk some cases or some thought processes and go from there. Just a real freestyle though.
So my background was always in movement, guys. I don't know if you knew that about me. I spent a lot of time, as a personal trainer in Los Gatos at Los Gatos Athletic Club, and I thought I was going to probably have more practice like you guys, athletes, that type of thing. And then when I moved up here, well, it's Reading, guys. There's no professional sports or but with that background, I generally get those kind of young families, their kids are in sports. I had that crazy case that I told you the other day, Dustin. And then, but what I have noticed, you guys, is I have families. Like I'm seeing the entire family because everyone will refer their cousin, their aunt, their grandma. Like the honor that I have when someone refers their grandma to me, I'm just like, oh my God, this is the cutest thing. I love it. I love that age group. And then when I have the 4-week-old baby in here, you know what I mean? So it's just like, then the whole families pile in, so it's just great. And then the problem is I start seeing them get married and have their own kids. So then I'm like, okay, I've been at this for 22 years now, and so the generations go through. But I think more than anything, I start to see my style change within me. So, before where it was just like when we first got out of school, we're just adjusting, we're probably like regurgitating everything that we, just learned in board, Y file series and board reviews and all of that. And so then after that, you just really, the best teacher is our patience. And so along the way, I've learned to ask better questions. I've seen some things that I never thought I would see. I've had people come back to me and say, "Oh my God, Maria, thank you so much for making me go check that spot on my arm.
Yeah,
It did turn out to be cancer." And my gosh, Dr. Maria, thank you so much for checking that shoulder. There was a tear there, so this type of business is perfect for me because I've always wanted variability and I just wanted different things going on every day. And that's what you get. You do
for
not
sure.
get the same thing every day. Yes, you do have some days where you're like, oh, I saw a lot of shoulders today, or I saw a lot of low backs, or, what was going on there, energetically. And so, but I think that for the most part, if we're talking to young chiropractors right now or people still in school, I do better when I'm patient centered. Okay. I've been in practices where it was doctor centered and it just did not feel good on my heart. And I was just like, if we listen to the patient, and I'm not saying do what they say, I'm not saying that. I'm saying be listening to them I'm not stuck on a technique because, oh, that's all I know and that's what I do.
Mhm.
What if you have someone come in and they can't do that?
Right.
So I've had to learn along the way to meet people where they're at, love them where they're at, and do what they can handle and sort of guide them along the way. I'm basically the guide, and I say, okay, this is where we could go right here. This is what I'm hearing is going on with you. This is what I think is the next step. What can your body handle? What can your mental capacity handle? Because some people are just not ready yet. So me being more of a patient-centered doctor, I think is sort of like what has gotten me through some years that could have been tough for other people, but people really like it. And I don't know, I think that they send their people to me because they feel safe.
Yeah. The referral is a big indication that you're doing something right, you know? I think, and especially when people are sending family members, that's super meaningful, I think, on a deeper level than just, "I sent my coworker," and, it's a beautiful thing, I think, if you can treat everyone from newborn to grandparents, because your skill set is probably so sharp from treating the whole variety of conditions in people that you might get when you're younger or a teenager or middle-aged office worker or a grandparent who maybe hasn't been active ever, And so I think that's
Yeah.
an awesome way to just stay sharp. And having a family practice is beautiful too. You were kind of making a joke about like, oh, it's been in practice and like now I'm seeing kids and people getting married. But I kind of look fondly at some pictures I've taken with like a pregnant mom and then like
Yeah.
the baby and this is the first
Yeah.
time the baby's at the office, and then all of a sudden she's like 5. All of a sudden she's like 8 and in gymnastics and doing headstands and cartwheels in your office, and then, all of like, she's what? She graduated high school, like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know?
I know, it's
So it's
crazy.
pretty
And like
neat.
I'm basically like anti Dr. Maria.
Nice.
Because they come in and they're so little and we develop this relationship with them, and then we take pictures and we make it a big deal, and I some kids, they fall in love with chiropractic care, and I'm like, okay, I'm telling the parents, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna do some anteing right now, and I the kids, if you like this, you're gonna have to find a job or a skill set that you have the correct amount of income that you're gonna want this the rest of your life, because I'm telling you, it is like giving kids caviar. There's some cost to,
Mhm.
having something like this in your life. And the people that have learned along the way that this is important for them, they really budget it in their life. I have a monthly program, and you guys, I don't know how some people do it, but they like make it happen because they know it's so important to get adjusted weekly or more than that, with whatever's going on. But in my practice, for the new mommies, that I'm adjusting them along the way, at the very end, we have a face down party, I call it. And the face down party is, can you guys guess what the face down party is?
Well, I just know that there's that period of time where they can't lay face down. They just can't
Exactly.
wait They just
Okay.
Yeah.
can't wait in that first time back where they can actually lay
Yes.
on their stomach
It's
and
the
get their mid
first
back
time
and shoulder.
back, and we make it a big deal, we take pictures, I post it,
That's cute.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and,
cool. That's a
and
great
it's
idea.
just they give me a thumbs up while they're face down. I mean, it's just fun, and you make it fun, and, and the younger ones are seeing this too that come in with their moms and dads and
What's an important
Yeah.
check mark in the journey of, like, recovery and health? I was speaking on this earlier of, like, we all take for it's 9 months to make a baby, we all know that, and then it seems as though a lot of people, maybe even partners or physicians, doctors, whoever's in vicinity, or sometimes even in this case, the mom, the expectation is like, "Well, I should just bounce right back." And I'm like, "You made a
Yeah.
human being, like, you literally made a human being." So, that took 9 months, it took a toll, like, don't you think you should give if you go on a 30-mile trip, how long do you think it's gonna take to get back? Like, probably about the same amount of time, so give yourself the 9
Ooh,
months
I
or
like
give
that.
yourself a year to recover. This woman was in month 2 and a half beating herself up for feeling the way she was and looking the way she was, which was great considering she, again, grew a human being, you know? Like, give yourself some grace, and so I think that's a wonderful check mark to give somebody something to look forward to, and I could see as a mom just being lost on, "I'm making progress," you know? And
Yeah, and I tell them during pregnancy, I'm like, "Okay, game day. When's game day?" When they first come in and tell me, when they're first pregnant, I'm like, "This is so exciting. Okay, my job now from here on out is to help you prepare for game day. And if game day is on June 21st, whatever, we're gonna take that whole week before and week after, and we are gonna make sure that you're ready because, like, I mean, I guess you could come into the office and I have a mitt, a glove, and we could do it here, but it's probably not gonna happen, so I just tell my mommies, like, "We don't know what position you're gonna have to be in on game day, so let's make sure you are prepped for every position that you might need to be in," and we go over that. I go, "So your legs are gonna need to be strong. You're gonna have some upper body strength. You
good
don't
for
know if
you.
you're gonna be out being on the bar or, whatever." So we make it like it's a sport here at Healthwise Chiropractic. Everyone is an athlete, and so we've got the industrial athletes, the athletes, the weekend sports people, and, people, like you said, getting themselves back into healing and into shape. And so that's my conversation with everyone is like, let's treat this like a sport and let's treat this like you're an athlete getting back out on the field, right? And maybe you don't have the $1 million contracts, but really the $1 million contract is being able to be with your family and doing the things that you love and whilst still having to bring home the bacon.
Yeah. No, that's a great analogy. I think, Dustin, you said before, correct me if the quote is off, but it's, we're all kind of preparing for the game of life, and I think,
Yeah.
Dustin, you've touched on that before about just being ready for anything and wanting to be capable. Like, who says
Yeah.
you have to stop being capable at 60 or 65 or 70? And in fact, I don't know if this is true, but I'll put a little clip mark here because I think when people ask how old you are, I bet before we die, it's gonna stop being how old you are. It's gonna be like, "Oh, what is your biological age?" Like, people are gonna
Mhm.
stop caring, like, "Well, I'm 65," because there's gonna be some 65-year-olds that biologically, there's gonna be data, and I mean, we can already do that, and it's gonna be like, "No, actually, you're 53." And people are gonna
Mhm.
start referring to their biological age and not their chronological age. Because, like I said, there's 30-year-olds who probably present as 45, and they're in terrible health, and there's probably 45-year-olds that present like 30-year-olds. So yeah, I think we're, like, kind
Yeah.
of in a wonderful time.
Yeah, I bet you're right on that, or, I don't know if that'll be I mean, it could become common, verbiage out there, but I'm already seeing it with some of the apps, like, I'm using a Hume, metabolic tracker right now, and they have that exact they'll tell you what your age is, and then they'll tell you how you're doing biologically, and,
Are you wearing it?
so they're using it as a motivator, yeah. So it's basically it looks like the other ones, but, it's more of a metabolic versus a fitness tracker, so it's taking in a lot of other type of data, which for me is what I like because I'm not out there, tracking my miles of marathon running or cycling or anything. So for me, it's perfect, but they do use that metrics of your biologic age. So it's kind of interesting. You touched upon that. I could totally see that trend going. I think it definitely, when I see it and I'm not at my age and I'm older, I'm like, okay, this sucks. So it is a little motivator. Okay, I know I'm feeling that
Right.
right now, but you don't have to tell me.
Right.
I'm having this internal conversation with the human device too. But yeah, but it motivates me and it makes me think twice before I want to eat something or do something, or hey, go out and take that extra walk, instead of, doing
Yeah.
something else. So I think it's a good motivator. I hope more and more people start tracking that kind of stuff. So
And really just, as chiropractors and health leaders in our own communities, I mean, that's what leaders do. Leaders lead by example. And so for, you wearing all the stuff, the apps, doing the thing, like I just started a campaign on social media for my own metabolic health because I got some blood work that was a few spots on it where like, I didn't like that and I want to change it. So I feel like I'm using social media as my accountability partner in a sense, and it's helping me to get up in the morning, track some things, do some things, and share it, because people want to hear that too, and they want to see kind of how easy it is to do some of these little tweaks in
yeah.
our own health, and it can make such huge changes in blood work and age.
I think you do a great job at that, Maria, and that's why one of the reasons I kinda wanted you on too, to talk about your practice in that way, kinda. I know we touched upon kinda what your demographic is and stuff, but I think you do a really good job educating and leading by example, and I know it's different than the way, but you come up with great little Canva brochures and, handouts, and you hand things out to your patients, and you have a regular campaign. Can you kinda maybe talk to us about that, and kind of what I don't know, a monthly campaign would look like, or how you start one, like if we
Yeah,
wanted to start something.
yeah,
And I know you got a few, like you got the ketone one, you got the carnivore one, and I might be butchering what you actually call it, but kind of those flavors. Can you kind of
yeah.
talk about that?
Or how you pick
So
the
first
topics. Yeah.
First and foremost, well, I'm such an intuitive person, Pollen, that shit just comes to me.
Mhm.
Okay, so I freaking
Yeah,
do what I wanna fucking do,
Right.
okay? I've been in practice 22 years. I'm You know what I mean? That's just
You
kinda
get the
how I
vibe.
roll.
yeah,
And yes, and if people are coming in with the same questions, I'm like, "Okay, universe, this is what we need to do right now. Okay."
I got it.
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, first of all, you just start. Okay, if we're talking to people that are young in practice, or on the edge of like wanting to do social media, whatever, don't wait till you're perfect. Don't wait till your hair is perfect. Don't wait till your weight is perfect. Don't wait till you're, having that look that you want to like. You just start, and you guys know this. So with this 90-day metabolic sort of thing that I'm doing right now, it was because of my blood work. So I was like, okay, I'm going to share. Some other programs that I have going on are helping people at the metabolic level, cellular level, right? And so I just happened to be asked to listen to a class that was 30 minutes. And I was like, all of a sudden I started doing it, and then I implemented it in my office. And the workshop is called Case for Ketones.
Mm.
And so I just started inviting a lot of my patients onto what someone else was teaching, and that was Dr. Mo Boger. And then after a while, she's like, Maria, can you teach this for me? So I would substitute for her. And then we just invite a lot of people to that. It's every first and third Monday of the month. We had one last night. And it's just really 30 minutes on Zoom of going over an animal based, a modified carnivore, not totally carnivore, not totally in another direction, but just the goal is to increase ketones and to decrease glucose, and to kind of find that really beautiful GKI index where, we start running into autophagy and mitophagy and apoptosis. And, we know that that's where a lot of the healing is at. And so if we're teaching people how to do that on their own, they're getting their own GLP-1s that their body is making, right?
Mhm.
And so some people really want to do things all natural and maybe not do things pharmaceutically, and that's great. And so if we can help people at the metabolic level, because just like you guys, people come into your offices all the time, and you can see that it's not just an adjustment that needs to be
Right. Yeah.
Right.
right. So you start talking about lifestyle and overall health because we get to do that as chiropractors. It's in our
Mhm.
scope. We get
Sure.
to do it. So, like, all of a sudden, it's just like, okay, I'm really thinking you need to change some things in your nutrition, and let's do baby steps. Let me help you. We can do a one-on-one coaching session. We can do a monthly coaching session. We can get deeper. A lot of times I like to use Canva or ChatGPT and, put everything that we talked about in one spot.
Make it easy
So
for 'em.
super fast. So it's not like AI did it. It was the conversation that we had, and I made notes from that conversation, and I just made like an image, you know?
Yes.
And so I do that for a lot of my coaching clients. And I put a little of their own personal stuff in there too, because I know people are going on vacation in the summer. They can't necessarily be so regimented, you know, in Ireland and Scotland and whatever, you know, you're not, we are human beings on this planet to have a human experience, not be robots this entire time. So I really take those things into account, and I want people to live and have their best life and just live through experience. And so,
Yeah,
one
real
of the
quick, P, when she's talking about these Canva things she shared with me one that I think it was the volleyball players that you had, the
yeah,
girls, the high schoolers, and she shared with me, and I'm telling you, it's so professional looking, but
Nice.
the way she does it, really clean, concise, very easy for these student athletes to read and follow. And like she said, she made it personal based on their conversation. So it wasn't just like some like, oh, let me cut and paste this from the website and it's not relatable to this person.
yeah.
Like, you know, I you got a
That's
lot.
super
You need a
important.
lot of credit on that, Maria, because you're really good at that. And I was when I read it, I'm like, man, I got to up my game because this is really nice. I want to do what she's doing for my patients. So it was impressive. So
No, it
yeah,
probably
For
really
students
resonates.
Yeah. For students that are listening to this or for young doctors, think about how you would want to be doctored. Think about how you would want to have your experience when you walk into a clinic. Like, I've walked into some clinics before or get adjusted, and it's just like, okay, that's it. Like, are we going to like follow up? Are you going to feel loved on in the next few weeks and months? I mean, you're not bothering them. Okay. Don't think you're bothering people. When you check up on them, you text
Great
them,
point.
hey, how'd that first adjustment go? I hope you weren't too sore. If you were, these are some things you can do. Like fucking texting people, this age group, these Gen Alphas, millennials, what they're used to that. They don't
Yeah.
mind it.
Yeah.
So checking in on them
so
that way is great. And then sending them like an image where they don't have to call you and you don't have to call them for some reason they like that. Audios are great, you know, like Voxers. So these are all ways to communicate with these age groups that they seem to love, and I'm open to it. So I've just tried to like meet them again where they're at.
And did that come, like,
yeah.
naturally to you, Maria? Like, I mean, as I guess it was probably a case by case basis where you're like, "Oh, this doesn't resonate with them, so I'm gonna add some imagery or make this personalized for this person," and then it snowballed from there? Like, was that really intentional, or did it kinda happen by accident?
Some of it's well, both because we all of a sudden have this technology where we can, right? Back when I was first practicing, shit like that was hard, so I wasn't doing that,
Right,
right?
yeah, that's so true.
I probably had pre-made handouts,
Yeah,
you know, and stuff like that. But along the way, I noticed some coaching people, I would have to put some rules onto it and say, hey, don't leave that freaking image in your phone. Print it out, put it right by your mirror, have it where you can see it, put it on the fridge, like print it out, like take an active role in this. Cause if it stays in your phone in some photo library, you're never going to see it. So like there's some like, rules, and I do some pushing. I'm not like just a hand holder and like, oh, are you okay? You know, like if you want it, dog used to say all the time, our friend, like
yeah,
you got to want it.
yeah.
You got to want it. Right. And so I use that saying all the time, with my clients because it's like, okay, do you want this or not? Because I'm willing to go this amount of energy for you in this section and this amount of energy for you in this section, and a lot of times I'm going to be frank. And if this is for, students and stuff, like are you okay with the patient just having you be their ibuprofen?
Mm,
And if that's the case, that's fine. I tell people all the time, I'm like, if I'm just your ibuprofen today and you just want help and we're getting you out of pain, great. If you want me to educate and tell you some things that, I think you could be doing nutritionally, energetically, breath at work, whatever you name it, then we can go there too. But let me know because I don't want us to say like you were wasting my time. It's not that. It's more of just like, where does the energy and focus go?
yeah, well, you have a
I
lot of
like the way
patience, so if it's not gonna be if you don't wanna feel like you're burning energy when somebody else would gladly take that and run with it, you know?
yeah.
So, there's
Yeah.
only so
So
much of Maria to go around.
And that's the thing, now that we've been in practice for so long, it's actually been one of my impetus is to sort of change the way I do things. And so maybe some of it didn't, like you said, Pawan comes so naturally. Some of it came with need.
Got you, yeah.
My energy level, my body, what I feel like that day. Do I have a headache that day? Do I have a migraine? Like my own body, what can I handle? Because I'm going to be doing this for a long time and I really have to kind of conserve and save my body. So I have to be up on my health. This is a very vigorous job. I don't think people realize that. And if you're doing traditional chiropractic adjustments like I do. Like I am sweating, okay? I don't wear a freaking I used to look cute and go to work in my little cute office outfit. After a while, I was like, "No, we're doing sports here,
Yeah.
people. Like this is sport."
I'm
So
athletically
like
moving.
yeah, and I'm an athlete, so I'm naturally good at chiropractic care or the adjustment because of that, I think, and just my martial arts background, but I mean, it's the business side that has been such a learning curve.
Mhm. No, for sure. I'd like to touch on, like, how you have, like, stayed healthy, I guess, and been practicing for 2 decades plus, and how you manage your energy 'cause, if you have a practice where you see 50 people a day, or, like, when I subbed in at the joint for my friend who owns a joint, we're seeing, like, 100 people a day, and I was
Yeah,
talked out, like, I
yeah.
I'm, like, exhausted just from talking, and the interactions are different, so I don't know what your volume is per day, but I'm curious about how you I mean, I know you're active, but for our audience listening, like, how do you maintain, 1, your energy level, 2, your focus through the day when you're jumping from person to person, and then there's a lot of people and just, some of it can be heavy. And then just on the long term, like, is there anything that you do to keep able to manipulate bodies and move around and be bending and working all day long?
Yeah, I mean, you literally have to be doing what you're telling your patients to do,
Right.
plain
It's
and
so true.
simple, like
Yeah.
you have to be
That was such a
you
great
have to
summary.
yeah, you have to do cardio, you have to lift, you have to do mobility work. You have to have something that's just your thing too. That's literally outside of the office. You have to have something that's just yours. And over the years, I haven't had it. Sometimes I, don't like, I have other businesses and stuff like that that kind of help me step away from these four walls of adjusting. But a lot of it has to do with just me having a servant's heart and just doing that type of like, it didn't have to be chiropractic care. I could have done something else, but as long as I was helping people, I was fine. So that will give you some of the natural energy. But over the years, obviously, I've had to change things up. Like, I would say my strongest days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday now. Mondays and Wednesdays, or Monday and Friday, like Friday, I try not to. Like I literally tell people, "Oh, I try not to see patients that day." And Saturdays, maybe someone will squeak in. But for the most part, I have to be up on my health. I never closed during COVID. Yes, I'm saying the C word. I don't know if we can here. I didn't take the snake bite.
Mhm,
I didn't encourage it. I did not encourage masks.
mhm.
In fact, if they walked in, I said, no, take that off because I don't want you suffocating when you're face down on the table. I literally have to be so on top of my immunity because I don't know what's walking into my door.
Sure.
Okay. And I'm touching them and they're shedding on me. And we know that pneumonia, flu, and vaccinations are the ones that shed the most, especially the C snake bite. And so over the years, I've had to change what helps me keep my immune system strong. There were actually during certain parts of the year where I saw signs. I knew in August, the nurses up here would start doing their a- annual thing. And I was like, okay, so from September through January, literally can't have sugar.
Mhm.
I have to like take the holiday meals just like it's a regular meal and not go freaking crazy with it. And then usually by March when the sun starts coming out, I could see that things were changing and then they stopped doing that because the nurses have to have it done by October 31st here
Hmm.
Mm.
or they have to wear a mask. So I knew that the shedding was gonna be a certain amount of time, so I had to be so on top of my nutrition and supplements
I
and
like the
sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
sleep.
like the way you said that. like, during that time, and me and you, Maria, have talked about, my journey with COVID and pneumonia and all that, and, what happened, why did I get it, and, how all that happened. But, we always would talk about, it's all about immune system during that time, because we would talk to our patients about, people would come in and it was like, "Oh, I got the summer cold," or "I got the summer flu." And I'm like, "No, the bugs are always there. They're
Yeah,
always around you. It doesn't
yeah.
just happen during the summer." But if you look at when do you get sick the most, it's during the winter when you're eating like shit. It's during 4th of July. That's the summertime. You're eating and drinking like shit. So you're if you don't want the bugs to attack you, be a very shitty host. And the way you're a shitty host is by increasing your oxygen and decreasing your sugar. And you touched upon that, but you had the knowledge and the education when to dial that in. So you took it a step further than what I do. And you actually knew like dates, timelines, like I got to be on my game. But that's a game plan, right? And I think
I'm a
that
pattern person, so
that's
that's what
huge.
I saw
Yeah.
happening,
And
and
there's a
I
lot
and
of
I
people.
saw when I got sick,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
So I love that you touched upon that. And so, because for me, I don't know that knowledge of nurses and all that, but now I'm thinking about it like, okay, maybe I can do better by looking at patterns for my patients. I have nurses coming in and they're keeping me abreast of what they're seeing coming through the hospital. So I'm able to translate that to, or tell my patients, but but maybe I could be better by looking at trends and stuff like that. But yeah, be a shitty host. So I like how you said that. Like you didn't say it in those terms, but like you said, like, I know for me, I need my immune system up. So I'm going to keep the sugars down and I'm going to exercise. I'm going to keep more exercise. Maybe I'll work on my breath work. Maybe I'll work on my meditation more. I have to dial it in during those times. I think that's really important for listeners to hear, from, you know,
You know
this
what I
sounds bad, and sorry if you have any restaurateur clients and patients, I know I do, but I'm very careful with where I go out to eat, if at all. I literally there are certain times where in my life where I'm just like, "Nope, I should not be eating out for the next few months or weeks or during certain times of the year."
Mhm.
because
That's just
because
my
of
for me,
because of
for me.
exposure, Maria, or because of, like, just the food, like, just eating out fast food or restaurant food isn't the same as home
All of it.
cooking? All of it, yeah,
All of it. Yeah, we don't know who's cooking it. They needed to go to work because they have kids that they need to,
sure.
support, and they can't stay off because they're sick.
No, no doubt. Now, one of the things that I did like about COVID actually was people who were working preparing food were wearing masks, and I was like, "Yo, that's
Yeah.
kinda low key good," because I didn't
We
love it
keep
when
the,
I went to, like, a certain spot and you see, like, the chef just sweating it up and just dripping,
yeah.
or, like, scratching their face and rubbing their nose and then, like, wrapping
Yeah,
you're like, "Well, I wish I didn't see that," like, damn.
yeah, yeah.
So,
That's why I'm very I hate to say it, very strict about that right now.
Yeah.
I and my certain times of the year have changed. For me, I noticed up here, you guys probably remember there's a lot of ag, Dustin.
Mhm.
And not to mention the geoengineering skies that we're dealing with, all of us. During the spring now, I have allergies all of a sudden. Hmm.
stuff in the air.
First time in my life, last few years, so I've been using a lot of iodine up my nose, everywhere on my body to help with radiation poisoning and all of that. And I tincture it up, guys. Like I don't care if it hurts, if something stings, like I'm like, I really need to make sure that I'm protecting myself because it's just me and a lot of people need me right now.
No, for
Mhm.
sure, and I think the service that we provide for anyone in the medical profession, you're a nurse, you're a doctor of any type of sort, we have a lot of contact with people, patients, people, whatever you wanna call it, and with that comes, you gotta have a strong immunity, of course, and I I don't think everybody knows that your immunity can fluctuate, like, I take that for granted, but sometimes I'm explaining stuff and they're like, "Wait, you mean getting 8 hours of sleep versus 5 helps my immunity?" Like, I'll actually and the reason this came about was, like, an airplane flight where 2 of us flew together and I felt okay, and, like, we were sitting next to each other and he was sick, and, man, I must have caught something and here, and make a long story short, I just was like, "Look, there's 300 people on that plane. Whatever bug was there, it circulated through all of us.
Mhm.
Probably
Yeah,
30 people out of those 300 got sick because they were
yeah.
worn down, they came up off drinking, they didn't sleep, and so if our immunity was, say, a credit score or a video game score, people would they would pay more attention to what their immunity score was. So, like the Hume band, Dustin, I bought one for my dad. I have one here that I haven't downloaded the app and put it on yet, but seeing you wear it, I'll probably do that in the next day or 2. But,
Perfect.
like, if there was an immunity score and it was like, people know sleeping helps, people know good nutrition helps, but if you saw I have a double scoop of pistachio ice cream and, like, it went from a 86 to a 82, I mean,
Twice, yeah.
like, that would make a difference,
So
or I went and did a couple sets and it bumped up. It was only 2 sets. Oh, 2 sets made a difference? Okay, well, I don't need to spend 90 minutes in the gym. I'll just do what I can during the day. Like, I think it would make a big difference. And I don't know how many people really realize that a lot of things, everything affects your immunity. Not a
Mhm.
lot of things, everything.
until it hurts them enough or they're taken away from things they love, like their job, income, landing in the hospital. I mean, until it hurts enough, some people it's almost like hitting rock bottom or whatever, then people start paying attention to things. Why, as human beings, it takes something to hurt us that we change or do things different, I don't know. I've been a part of that too. Or we learn from other people, is a good one.
I don't, this might be a little bit of a exit off the freeway, but like, speaking of learning, I know there's some things that you haven't like really learned a lesson on in a long time. I don't know if you've over the years maybe changed, but I just know that most people, if they keep bumping their head against something, they'll like make a change, and I really have to know, are you still a Raiders fan?
Yeah. I was like,
Because
"Where's this
See?
going?" I was
yeah,
like, "Yeah,
because
I knew the freaking shoe was gonna
yeah,
drop. I
yeah." I
saw the
was smiling with
sarcasm
yeah.
rolling in his freaking eyes, bro.
I mean,
It was a
speaking of
good way to
improving your
close
immunity,
this.
that can't be good for your immune system, just seeing
Like,
L's after
Yeah.
L's every year. That's probably stressful, girl.
oh my god, it's so funny that you say that because I never even thought of myself as following football that much. I think just because my twin sister was and, living in the Bay Area, you just kinda are 49ers and Raiders, I mean, so yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Bro.
I think
I'm a
And
both.
that's
Raiders
how
fan.
you're
He's
gonna
been
end
giving
this?
me shit for 5 years or however long we've been doing this.
Like, he's been
Like
waiting for that for a long time.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot. I forgot Destin was a Raiders fan till a couple I, like, blocked it out. I'm like, "This is an intelligent young
Well,
man over
that's my
here."
award this today because I was like, I thought
Yeah.
we were gonna talk about sports and I freaking love her and
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Have you been watching a lot of WNBA because of her or Caitlin Clark or in gen
No,
what were you to it?
well, those 2 pop out. I don't have time to watch, like, games or anything, but I see all the highlights and I freaking love
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And her, I love her. Jujitsu, like, she's a badass. She
Doesn't
was at
back
the
down from
UFC
anything.
fight the other night holding I mean,
That was random. That was
it
fun.
was random, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah. That was good.
And she's basically showing everyone that she's very well-rounded and she can do a lot and she's monetizable,
Mhm.
okay? She can do anything.
Yeah. Nope. It's good.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, all athletes now can really kind of build their own brand if they have the personality or the interest to, and I think that goes for everybody. I mean, we're doing a podcast, maybe 3 people listen, maybe 30,000 people listen, but, like, we are in an age where it's just way different than when we went to school, and that wasn't that long ago, like, I wish I had AI back in school, it would've made some things easier, just even to do some research, just to it's just we're in an amazing time, I say that a lot, but I think we can really take advantage of the positive things of the tech advancements for our health
Yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe just be aware of the negatives that come with it, which could be
yeah.
being plugged
Well, it
into
can
a lot.
never replace these right here, so I'm actually feeling okay about it, and if there was AI when we were in school, you wouldn't have needed me and Dustin.
Right.
So I'm glad.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, you know? It was more than just facts. It was like moral support, it was encouragement, it was, you
We were
know
your emotional support pets.
yeah, for
I think
sure.
we all needed each other in different ways at different times throughout the
We
journey.
did,
Sure.
for sure. I
We all
needed you guys so bad, and just Dog and Anita
yeah.
and just
Shout out.
everybody.
Yeah. It was
But you know what though?
That's
especially
a rough business.
What's that?
School was a rough business. It was a little bit rough for Dr. Maria.
Same. I thought school I just told the guy I got food from last night, like, he was asking what I do, and "Was that hard? Was it easy? How long was school?" And I said, "Dude, it's fine now, but school was hard." Like, He's like, "How long?" And I told him, I said, "It's 4 and 4, but it took me 5 and 5." Like, I'm slower than the average turtle, I guess, but, like, it wasn't easy, but I was like, once you start doing stuff with your hands with experience, like,
Yeah.
I'm I'm crushing it on this end of things, you know? And
Yeah, that's where Colin and I first met was in our prereqs,
right,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And then
those weekend
yeah,
classes.
a few of them, and then Dustin, we may have had the same class at Chico,
Mhm.
kinesiology, I think. At least one, maybe we
Yeah,
think. We
yeah,
might have met in Chico and then definitely at Palmer, so
yeah,
it's just been great to, have this experience life with you guys, so thank you for
yeah,
having me on and having fun with you guys. Hopefully, we'll get to do it again, or you can
yeah,
come on my show.
No, we can do it
yeah,
anytime, but honestly, we all deserve a little round of applause and pat on the back because we're 20 years deep.
Yep.
And I remember being in the very first day of class, I remember showing up late because I was commuting from Fremont. And on the weekends, the commute was like 20 minutes.
No,
And on Monday
no,
morning, it was an hour and a half.
P
And
don't, no.
what you saying?
she's not
You
biased.
knew
Are you saying
you knew how
I had no idea, girl. I was tripping. I was like, I think there's an accident. Like, and then it was like that every day. As soon as that leak was up, I was
Every
moving to
day.
San Jose. It was
Couldn't figure it
terrible.
out.
yeah, yeah.
In fact,
Same. I was coming from Los Gatos, and I always gave myself, like, 45 minutes to get there, so and I was always late.
I thought I was slick. Like halfway through that semester when we got our spines, like our little carry spines, I threw that thing in the passenger seat, put a hat on it and a hoodie, and put the seat belt. And I was like, I'm going in the carpool lane. I cannot be late every single day. I'm also not getting up at 5, leaving my house at 5:30 to get to school at 7:30. Like,
Through that,
so
bro.
that worked for
Well,
like 3
we
months.
did it.
Yeah.
We did it. And you guys can do it too, whoever's listening, just maybe not in California, but you can do it.
I mean, it is definitely a challenge to get through school, I think, whatever type of post grad, because it's an opportunity cost of working and making money. And I think anybody in the medical profession, you said it earlier, Dustin, is doing it out of love or to help people. And it is a personal sacrifice. But for me, it's been worth it. I think for you guys, it's been worth it. And I don't know, there aren't too many professions where you feel like every day, well, I should ask you guys. I've had terrible days, but going to work has made the day a lot better because I'm like, well, at least I'm helping somebody else feel better. And that makes me feel good. And so if I was doing data entry, it wouldn't be the same.
Right.
I'll tell you my worst day in chiropractic,
Let's hear it.
when I have to go take CCEs,
Yeah.
sitting for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Not learning has nothing to do with that. I love learning. It's the the continuing ed, but sometimes it's what he's talking about too makes me not want to practice anymore because of all the rules and regulations and laws and stuff like that. But we want to end on a good note.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe we should plan on taking some CEUs together because even if it's bunk, that'd be a little bit fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds good
But
to me.
Orange County coming up soon, bros.
there's
Yeah,
something interesting for sure. What are you taking?
yeah,
What do you,
I always go with Mark Simmerit,
mm,
triad seminars.
okay. I don't think I've ever taken any of those. Have you, Dustin?
yeah, they're pretty good.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
I'll have to look
yeah.
into that.
Let's do it. Put it on the calendar.
Maria, tell me the name of your practice again and where you're located, just for people that are listening so they can, if there's anybody new listening in your area and wants to have an amazing experience and see a great doctor and not just get their spine adjusted, but actually learn something and improve their health, where would they go
They
to? Yeah, if they
I
want
will
to.
be your ibuprofen,
Yeah,
but if they want to learn, I will be there for them. Dr. Maria Salas, owner of Healthwise Chiropractic here in Redding, California. That's Northern California. I've been in practice for 21 years now, and I've been in the same spot since 2010.
good for you, girl.
So it's great. We've got a really great location. I do a lot of virtual coaching as well. I provide nutritional supplements and I do a lot of sort of like assessments. And I have people give me their blood work and we go over it together and we just say, hey, let's come up with a plan of attack,
That's great.
you know?
That's wonderful. And website, any social if they want to find you?
If you could put it in the description because it's long and yeah. I am on Instagram. You can follow me at Dr. Maria Salas or Facebook Maria Salas. On X, Dr. Maria Salas, and I believe Telegram, Dr. Maria Salas.
Nice.
So yeah.
You've cornered the
Perfect.
market.
We get down and dirty. I don't hold back. I'm on YouTube. My YouTube show is called How We Heal with Dr. Maria, and we get
Good.
down and dirty.
I love that. Yeah, we'll get all that in the caption for sure. I'll have Amy make sure she puts that down there. But that's super important because I feel like I never know where our voices are going to reach, and you also never know that one random person who comes in where you can just make a huge difference in their life by telling them something, sharing something, advising them. And so, yeah, if you're in Northern California and Redding, I know Maria personally, and as one of my first chiropractors, she has great hands, is super knowledgeable, leads with her heart and her head. And yeah, I would send my grandmother if she was alive to you or any family members. And I don't say that about a lot of people. It's Dustin, it's you, my boy Jamie, and Dr. Jackmon in San Diego.
Love those guys
Yeah,
too.
there's only a few. So you guys are the cream of the crop, in my opinion.
Thanks,
Love it.
guys.
Yeah.
Same.
Maria, it was great to catch up with you. We'll definitely do it again. Let's plan on linking up sometime before the end of the year. Or if you have a big event coming up or something you want to share, reach out to us because this was fun.
Yeah.
It was.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for the time, Maria.
Love you guys.
Any last thoughts or words, Dustin, Maria?
No, this was just
Patients are
awesome.
waiting for me right now.
Okay,
That's
girl.
the last.
Let's
Go do your
same
thing.
here.
Have a great day at work. And I don't even call it work. Have a great day with people. And we appreciate the time, Maria. It was really, really good seeing you. This is Second Opinion Sports Medicine Podcast. We're signing off.
Yeah.